You too. It was a stormy, rainy day. 5 a.m. I'm not far from home. I've got this reload. It's, what are we here? Tuesday morning, 5 a.m. I got back from California and parked her at, like, what was it, 7 a.m. yesterday, so 7 a.m. Monday morning. Got picked up from the truck, parked the truck, got picked up from the truck, and I am now back in the truck. I got back in here about 3 a.m. and I'm going to deliver this reload, and then I'm going to have Wednesday, Thursday reset. I took Friday off. I have the weekends off typically. I haven't had the last 2 weekends because I've been, on this California trip. So I'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what's nice about where I work is we have a system where it's a time request off, online time request off. It's like a driver portal. I've never messed with a driver portal before. But I like it because essentially what happens is all of your, pay stubs, all of your settlement numbers, all of your, like if you need time off, all of that happens through this portal. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I'm sure it's not the only place that has a driver portal. I'm absolutely sure of that, but it's first time for me. And what's nice about it, in the past with trucking, being a company driver, if you want a day off, you better have a darn good reason for wanting that day off. And oftentimes, the prerequisite of that is like an emergency or a doctor's appointment, or like to call your boss the person's truck you're driving, right, with all your crap in it, and tell them, you know what, I feel like taking Friday off. I would like to have a long weekend, right? It's like, huh? You want to do what? And you know what industry you're in? Long weekend? Those wheels need to be turning, sir. And, so I've always found myself lying, right, to get a long weekend. I mean, it's different if you're booking time off in advance, vacation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the spur of the moment. You know what? I got to do my reset in the middle of the week. I don't really want to go back to work Friday. Just to, go to work for the day, probably do some local stuff, right? And then go back for the weekend. I'm just going to take that Friday off. And so, long and short of it is put a time request in, and I mean, it's like it happens that fast, right? Send it out, and I got an email. I'm not even within 2 minutes. Email came back, driver's lounge, your time request has been approved by so and so, and good to go, right? Get 10 paid days a year. So if you have if you need a personal day or a medical day, those are paid days off, okay? A personal day being sick or whatever, appointments or obviously medical, okay, those are paid. But then you can also have more than 10 days off. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. I got 2 weeks paid vacation, and then the 10 days off, which essentially is 4 weeks a year. And for me, that's plenty. I mean, last year I took only 2 weeks off. And the truth is I can't afford to take any more time off than that. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, afford is a relative term, right? Could I do it? Yeah, I could do it, right? But if I want to make the amount of money I want to make every year, no, I can't, right? can't believe, I had this like long, if you look at a couple videos ago, I was gone. This beard just got out of control, and now I've shaved it. I'm looking and I barely recognize myself. Rarely do I let my my beard get as long as it was yesterday there when I got home and I put the clippers to it. I seen all the hair in the sink, and I'm like, holy! I know it's kind of gross, hair in a sink. I don't know why. Like I when I see hair in a sink, it's like, ugh. It's just, it's just grody to me. It's like, ugh, I don't like it, man. So anyways, I don't know how we got there. Excuse me. I can't, there's days where I say, maybe I'll look for another job. Well, let's just put my, dip my toe in the water, see what's out there. The truth is, there isn't much. It's not going to get much better than where I'm at. That's the honest to God's truth. And I've shared this before with you guys. The big part of that is the relationship I have with my dispatcher. And to just give you an example of the kind of dispatcher I'm working with, when on my way back, some of you probably already know, there were multiple tornadoes that ripped through Nevada and Iowa this past week, right? So this is the week of April 30th. So I guess it would be like the 25th, 24th, 25th of April. There were, there's some are speculating like 100 or plus tornadoes touched down between those two states over a 24, 30 hour period, something like that. I'm not, this is just what I've heard. Well, I heard it was through my dispatcher who called me at home yesterday to say, hey, glad to see you made it back, and rah, 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 I got your approval, I got your request for time off, no problem, just wanted to touch base with you. So the way I see it is, you'll do your reset after you deliver tomorrow, and then, so you have a nice long, recuperation period. And then we started, just kind of joking and chewing the cud about a little bit. And keep in mind, I hadn't talked to my dispatcher or anyone at my company other than the other driver that was on the trip with me, but anyone in the office for 12 days, which is really nice. Like, I don't know about anybody else out here, but I'm beyond the point of wanting to be babysat. I don't, if I don't have a problem, if you don't hear from me, assume everything's good. I do not want to be responding to texts and phone calls and emails and updates. And I remember, pulling reefer for many years, and they would want you to install these applications on your phone, and they'd be tracking you, and they can clearly see where you're at, but then they can call you. If you don't answer or something, they call you right back. They're spam texting you. It's just, I feel like it's a complete invasion of my space. If I wanted to be held accountable for every minute of my day, I'd work a 9-to-5 job where I have to report to people, instantaneously, to the minute, by the hour, whatever you want, right? There's a lot of accountability in trucking, but the beauty about trucking, right? And all of us know this, right? All of us know the flexibility of trucking. That alarm goes off, I'll just mention, you guys know I do flatbed work now, and there are windows of delivery typically, right? Sometimes there's very strict delivery appointments, especially when you're dealing with rigging, right? If there's a crane waiting for you, that's as strict as a delivery appointment that you have in flatbed work. Everyone knows that. But typically, if you're just doing some, general merchandise, there's window. Now, back with reefer, it was all JIT. those of you who don't know, that's just-in-time delivery. And of course, with perishable goods, there needs to be that very strict window, because otherwise you're dealing with spoilage and loss and money loss, basically, essentially what it boils down to. Where was I going with that? Oh, the flexibility. Your alarm goes off. You peek out the drapes. It's like a day like today, like you guys can see out the window. It's miserable. I mean, it's foggy, it's gray, it's raining. It's like, you know what? I'll sleep in for an extra hour. You don't have that flexibility with most employment scenarios. That's just a reality. That alarm goes off, you're go, right? You get down the road, 5-6 hours later, I'm feeling a little sleepy, or maybe I want to go for a walk. There's flexibility in trucking. There's freedom in trucking, right? There's a certain amount of freedom that one has in trucking. And that is really the most beautiful part of this job. And I think that's what contributes to people staying in this industry for so long is it becomes a lifestyle, right? And there's just no way that most of us can go back to a 9-to-5 or whatever you want to call it, where you're under somebody's thumb the whole time. So coming full circle now and going back to this whole can I look for another job? Could I potentially make more money with the skill set that I have, right? Could I go and do exclusively like gooseneck work or RGN work? Well, gooseneck is RGN, or I was gonna say like oversized exclusive, or maybe hook up with one of these crane companies. Yeah, I could. I probably have the skills. I know I have the skill set. I could go in there. I could be quite comfortable doing that work. I could probably make $5 more an hour, right? Something like that, because I'll never go back to mileage pay. Never. I'll never go back to trucking at a job where it's mileage, salary, or percentage, unless I get into an owner-operator situation. But as a company driver, never. I never want to feel as though I'm sitting in a situation that's beyond my control and I'm not being paid. That is the worst feeling that I've ever experienced in trucking. Whether it's being pulled into international border inspections and sitting there for 6 hours not getting paid, whether it's sitting in a traffic, so you guys, I could elaborate, but you guys know what I'm saying. Sitting in docks, rah, right? I'm under somebody else's discretion, and they could care less about me. Well, that's fine. And I say it all the time to people who go, "Oh, we're gonna try and get you out of here as quick as possible." Hey, take your time. Take your time. When's the last time any of you guys out there, drivers, have said to a shipper or receiver, "Hey, take your time. No big deal." Yeah, I get it. You drove your 10 hours, 11 hours, you get to a place, they slip you in a door and they go, "Okay, you're going to be here a while." It's like, no problem. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed. I get that. But when you got that clock ticking back, and they're going, "Hey, you're going to be here." I mean, like I said, I could go on. We know what I'm talking about, right? I have a very intelligent group of people that subscribe to this channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers, by the way. Anybody who's watching this channel or is in the driver's lounge for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Hit it, man. I mean, we talk about all kinds of things on this channel. I think I bring some insight to trucking. I've been doing it a long time. I'm completely transparent. I don't mind speaking my mind, even if it may offend, or it's never comes from a disrespectful never comes from a disrespectful, my position is not to disrespect anyone, but my position is definitely to speak my truth, my experience, and relate it to people in a way that can be kind of, interpreted, interpreted by you, and that's called dialogue, right? That's called being an adult. That's called having a mature conversation, and that's all I've ever wanted, is just to interact with like-minded people, and that's what we do here. So hit that subscribe button. But going back to what I was talking about, right? Could I find a job? I'm going to wrap it up. I know, it's going on 15 minutes here. Could I find a job making a few bucks more an hour? Absolutely. But here's the thing with these jobs that I have to take into consideration. Will I be able to work 60, 70 hours a week if I choose to? No. I'm going to be on that 45. They're going to be really looking at overtime, right? They're gonna know, you're gonna get your 5 days a week. Maybe you'll get the 45, 48 hours. You get a few hours of overtime in, and that's it for your week. I don't know what I would do with all that time in my life, to be quite honest. And typically for me, especially I like to do things in the summer. I like to golf. I like to fish. I've got myself a little boat. I like to, I like to do things. I like to be out. I like to do stuff in the summer, right? But the winter, it's like, what would I do? I'd probably be getting myself into trouble is what I would do. I'd be up to no good, right? I mean, what do you do all winter long? The winter's 6 months out of the year, man. There ain't nothing to do. And unfortunately, the ice isn't even getting hard enough to go ice fish or thick enough to go ice fish. And I don't even think the lake froze over where I'm from this winter, right? I'm, not that I'm a big ice fishing guy, but I'm just literally, what do you do in the winter anymore? You can't sled. There's not enough snow where I'm at. I mean, there used to be, but there ain't no more. The lake don't freeze over. I'm getting away from my point. It's early, forgive me. What I'm trying to say is, it really is about give and take. It really is about compromise. It really is about focusing on all the positives, because as you guys know, going through our days, there's always gonna be negative crap that I can become hyper focused on, right? Hyper focused on it, and all of a sudden I can't think of one darn good thing about where I'm at, right? And then it takes a bit to come back to center, and it's like, okay, all right, no, I got it all right. I got it pretty good. And that's not to say that there aren't challenges. Of course there are, and that's not to throw it in anyone's face or to, I'm not pumping my own tires. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it comes off that way. But sincerely, moving jobs in this day and age in trucking needs to be very calculated, concise, well thought out, pre-planned. It isn't like before, where I'd be meh, you know what? I don't like your attitude. I don't like the equipment. And part of that is climbing your way up in this industry, because there is that in this industry for sure. Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's kind of it's not kind of it's very much you better know what you're doing when you make that move, and it better be the right move, because you don't know, that there's so many variables now to what can happen within that job move, and I hear it all the time in trucking. I should have never left, right? But as truck drivers, the grass is always greener, right? And we always are looking for the path of least resistance. At least I am. You know, I mean, even in life itself, I don't want to work that. I'm fucking lazy, man. You know, or at least I can be. I am a hard worker, right? I will say that about myself, but I can be lazy. When I don't want to do something, I dig my heels in and I find reasons and justify my behaviors, right? And it's easy for me to do that. What the challenge for me is to dig deep and go like, well, you know, maybe I don't really have that much to complain about. And the truth is I don't have that much to complain about. And I would love to like come on here and be like, this is who I work for, you know, this is who I work for, come on over. But right now they're not hiring, and all the good companies, they're not hiring right now. Like, you know, we're just coming into busy season, if you will, right? And but I know that I could never put my company out on this platform. I know I can never do that, right? Because there's too many people out there that would try to get me in a wreck with my company. That's just the truth of the matter. You know, oh, you don't wear your seatbelt, you're making videos, and you're not you know, it's all these things, right? It's like, okay, no problem. I get it, and you're entitled to your opinion, right? But the proof of the caliber of driver I am is being out here for 17 years and never having, knock on wood, thanks be to all the powers to be, that I've never had an incident, right? I'm not talking about an accident, I'm talking an incident. Never had an incident as far as safety is concerned on the road, right? And I've been like 17 years out here. That's not to say that it's not possible, but I'll tell you what's not going to save me from an incident is wearing my seatbelt, okay? Or talking to my camera, okay? What's the difference between talking to my camera or having my headset on and having a conversation with whoever? Tell me that. Riddle me that one. What is the difference? Okay? What is the difference between listening to an audio book or the radio or anything else and having a conversation with my phone? Am I out of the moment? Probably. Yeah, I'm probably not 1,000% concentrated on, but is it unsafe? Absolutely not. Is there an argument to be made about it? Absolutely. But guess what? When a message comes across these idiot boxes in these trucks, is it not our duty to hit the screen and listen to the audio message on the screen? Yeah, you have to. That's how you get updated, right? There's all kinds of distractions in our job, okay? And I'll just say that, right? And so, but there are people, if I come out and said, hey, this is who I work for, man, and I'd be proud to tell you, and that'd be fine. But I can guarantee you one thing, that before the day is over, I would have people calling my job, reporting me, and because I've read the comments, right? And that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. You know, that's fine. Listen, I don't know how much of what or anything we got accomplished this morning, but I feel better. I just I want to stay engaged with you guys. A little bit of an upswing in subscribers in the last couple weeks. Nice to see. Probably the biggest influx that this channel has had since its inception. You know, I mean, I'm grateful for it. That's the point, right? Let's get a community together of like-minded individuals, and let's chop it up, man. You know, And so again, if you like this video, check the videos prior. There's multiple. And hit that subscribe, the thumbs up, all the jazz. And we'll catch you on the next video. You guys have a great day. Driver's Lounge over and out.